Well, this show's been very different from most of the shows that we have in that it is, well, not only different, but it makes a lot of bridges across from one art to the other. And of course, we are an arts center, a cultural center. And so we deal with visual art and music and theater. And you see a little bit of all of this in this particular show. I like the way that the visual art is very, very strong. And it is what meets you when you first walk in. And the strength of the painting, and also the interesting effects that he uses in this work, where he goes back to the Middle Ages and gets the gold leaf and puts it underneath to give the painting a vibrancy that they wouldn't normally have. So the painting itself is remarkable. When you walk in, I think everybody is immediately drawn to the painting.
I think I've most recently been working with storytelling, and I think I've just realized that in the past few years that that's where I want to go. I've been talking about it for quite some time in artist statements and so on, about narratives. The main showcase of this exhibit is the miniature room set called The Locket, and it tells a ghost story in 1/7 scale miniature where everything is completely handcrafted and handmade. It tells the story of a ghost that needs something in order to find its way to peace. So there's something that this ghost needs to accomplish in order to entirely have peace.
It's a lot different in painting on a flat board and making something in 3 dimensions, and then making it very, very small to look like it's regular size. So there's a lot of ingenuity that has gone into the creation of these 3 rooms. And so they are delightful in that they are visually stunning to look at. And people and children and old folks and everybody who comes in gets very excited about those. And then of course the 4th component to that is the music. And he's created a musical background that plays along the whole time that you're in here. And it doesn't ever get boring because it doesn't repeat that much. It's sort of an ambience that it sets up for this whole show.
Adding music, this sort of ambient music that I've begun putting with these shows is something that's still kind of new to me, and so I can be very loose with it. It can be almost random. I just start creating sounds, and the way music is now, we can bend and shape and mold things endlessly, and so it becomes sound painting. You know, it's like just painting with sound. Painting has been sort of my base for many years, and it's always been, I think, for me, a way of storytelling. Though not necessarily literally, I leave a lot to interpretation. Sometimes it's funny because sometimes it actually creates a lot of confusion, whereas I think it's easiest to take in my paintings when you let go of the idea to need to know, when you're open to not knowing, which is interesting because I think that's inherent to making art anyway, is not knowing. You know, everything is begun in a leap of faith that this will actually work out.
Another thing that is involved here is the literary part of things, because those 3 rooms also tell a story. And not only do the 3 rooms tell a story, but a lot of the paintings have a story in those as well.
In the past year specifically, I've come out literally and said this is what I do is storytelling, and it will be interesting to see as I move forward where that goes, to have that knowledge in place. I think people know things for a while before they put it to word and say this is actually it. Once you put it to word, it solidifies, you know. Which is actually interesting because art is a funny thing, because as soon as you put it to word, it slips. It's gone because you can never create a formula. So who knows? It will be interesting to see what will happen after I've proclaimed storytelling, because it could suddenly vanish.